Hello, my name is Heather Osborne, and this is my presentation for my client research project for Info 244 Online Searching. When it came time to pick a topic for my final project, it actually was an easy choice for me. I was interested in putting my newly acquired searching skills to the test with a client research project. Once I knew that was the project I wanted to tackle, I only needed one thing, a client. Luckily, in my day job, I edit books. And if there's one thing I know about authors, it's that they are always researching subjects when writing their novels. So I put the word out via social media, Facebook and Twitter, and quickly got some responses from interested parties. Lucky me, I was actually able to choose the subject that most interested me to work on. The client for my research project is Jay Wells. She's currently doing research for a new writing project. In her own words, "The book I'm writing is a murder mystery set in the world of Hotel Street during World War II. The main character is a detective, and the main antagonist is a brothel madam. The story deals with the politics of policing under martial law and the culture and politics of sex in Hawaii during the war." Jay is going to Honolulu this summer to do some in-person research, and would like to do as much pre-research as possible in order to spend the majority of her trip accessing research unavailable online. The reference interview for this project was conducted via email. Although I asked 8 questions total, the 3 I ultimately found most helpful to my search were: have you already found some great references? What are they? If you were to assign keywords to your search, what would they be? And what databases have you already searched, if any? With the responses to these questions, I was able to, number 1, search for any additional articles by the authors of the good references she'd listed. Number 2, pinpoint what she considered important based on the keywords she prioritized. For the record, her keyword suggestions were policing during war, martial law and crime, Honolulu World War II, and police procedures in the 1940s. And number 3, gauge just how deep her research had gone, as well as what databases to approach first. At that point, she had only explored JSTOR and the Honolulu University Online Archives. Utilizing the knowledge I gained through the reference interview, I formulated potential keywords and started searching, learning as I went which keywords were successful in achieving results and which came up with no results at all. Because the subject matter was so specific and not heavily written about, it was quite easy to be over-specific with search terms. Even the broadest of searches returned under 100 matches. Because this topic dealt with both history and law, I utilized the A to Z database listing from the King Library and searched the Justice Studies and History subject listings in order to find the best databases for my search. I ultimately ended up finding the best results using JSTOR, Web of Science, Academic Search Complete, and the America History and Life database. In addition to academic searching, I also did some general internet searching, utilizing Google and Amazon in particular. Early on, I made an attempt to use ProQuest Dialog, but found that no matter how specific I tried to get, the number of results, and inaccurate results at that, was too high, due to them linking almost every mention from a Hawaiian or Honolulu-based newspaper. Rather than wade through too many results, I preferred using a database like JSTOR that offered fewer, more accurate results. When I completed my searching, I found myself with 13 academic articles dealing in various ways with Hawaii, martial law, World War II, crime, and the red light district. I also found several books, web pages, a database of World War II oral histories dealing particularly with Hawaii, and an out-of-print documentary on sex in World War II dealing with the Pacific. I was happy with the results I had achieved, particularly since several of the articles I had found were written by authors of some of the references Jay had mentioned as being particularly good in her reference interview. But I needed to compile them and send them off to see how Jay felt about them. When I sent Jay the results of my searches, she was quick to respond. Funnily enough, it turned out that the out-of-print documentary I had mentioned was the original inspiration for her story. And although she already had some of the books I had linked to, she actually said that reassured her that her original research had been thorough. If I was finding some of the same things she had, that meant she had done a good job. As for the books she hadn't already read, she purchased them right away. As far as the academic articles were concerned, a few of them were familiar enough to her that she knew she had read them before, but she had none of them in her research folders, so she welcomed their addition to her collection. Since she plans to do some in-person research in Honolulu in July, she feels as though reading all of these articles in advance will help her get a good foundation of the established history, and thus be able to focus more on the specifics with her limited time while she is there. Overall, my experience with this research project proved to me that I have improved my searching skills, and that even when working with a client experienced in researching topics, I can still find information of use to them. Thank you for listening to my presentation.